President of the Republic of the Philippines.
On the part of the Senate, the joint session is called to order.
On the part of the House of Representatives, the joint session is called to order. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, honorable members of the Congress of the Philippines, Her Excellency Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, the President of the Republic of the Philippines. Madam President, before you deliver your State of the Nation message, the whole nation is waiting for the singing of the national anthem.
Please remain standing for the nation's prayer.
Manaming manlilikha, mapagkandiling ala, ginugunita namin ngayon ang iyong kadakilaan. Liwanagan mo po ang buong sambayanan. Bathalang kabunyian, kasihan mo nawa ang buong sanlibutan, ngayon at magpakailanman. Pinupuri ka namin at pinasasalamatan sa natatanging araw na ito. Itinataas namin at dinadakila ang iyong pangalan at humihingi ng patnubay, liwanag at karunungan upang maisakatuparan ang iyong banal na layon sa lupa. Akayin mo ang buong bayan sa pagkakaisa upang makamtan ang kasaganaang dulot ng iyong kapayapaan. O dakilang Diyos, makapangyarihang gabay, ipadama mo sa amin ang iyong presensya upang makapagpasya kami ng matuwid, pantay at malaya. Gawin mo kaming instrumento para sa iyong kabanalan at kabutihan sa lupa at turuang magpasalamat sa iyong walang ampat na biyaya. Panginoong may kapal, ibinabalik namin sa iyo ang lahat ng kapurihan sa diwa ng pagkakaunawaan, kapatiran at pagkakapantay-pantay. Ang lahat ng ito ay aming idinudulog para sa iyong kalwalatian at sa matamis mong pangalan. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Excellencies, now the real moment has come for the President to deliver her State of the Nation message. Excellencies,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Speaker De Venecia. Congratulations, Senate President Manny Villar. Vice President Noli de Castro. President Ramos. Chief Justice Panganiban. Members of the Diplomatic Corps. Senators. Congressmen and congresswomen. Other officials, ladies and gentlemen. Sa araw na ito, nakatuon ang isip natin sa ating mga kababayan sa Lebanon. Nasa kuko sila ngayon ng malagim na paglala ng digmaan. Kahapon lamang, sinalubong natin ang unang 200 Pilipinong lumikas doon. 500 pa ang mauuwi natin sa susunod na 4 na araw. Sa ating mga OFW, tunay kayong mga bagong bayani sa inyong paglilingkod sa pamilya, sa bayan at sa Diyos. Maraming salamat. Sa ating mga kababayan, a journey of 1,000 miles does not begin with a single step. It starts before the first step. It starts with gathering the means to complete it successfully. Those means are now at hand. To my friends in Congress, who in the face of grave political consequences championed and passed some of the most severe and critical fiscal reforms to save our economy, maraming salamat. You are the true friends of the Filipino people. For the real challenge has never been to blame, but to fix what is wrong in our country and our economy. Dahil sa inyo, sa wakas, may pondo na tayo. Hindi lamang para ibayad ang interes, kundi para sa edukasyon, mas mabuting tulay at kalsada, pagbigay kalinga sa kalusugan, at higit na trabaho sa ating bansa. Now we have the money to pay down our debt and to build up our country. To the civil servants who rose to the challenge of turning a weakening economy to a strong republic through more vigorous tax collection and more vigilant action against corruption, maraming salamat. We have achieved record revenue collections. We are lining up corrupt officials to face the consequences of their misdeeds, and finally earn the respect of the international community as a serious and viable state for our fiscal discipline and billions of pesos in annual interest savings that are now going into necessary public investments. To our men and women in the armed services, the huge and deep core of your loyalty has earned the nation's accolade. The few mutineers have been condemned by the people. They and their partisan cohorts and funders are being brought to justice. Sa nakararaming kawal at pulis na nagtaguyod ng watawat at saligang batas, maraming salamat. And at a time when we must each, as individuals and as communities, take greater responsibility, our local government officials man the front line of change. Change for greater accountability, for better service, and more responsiveness to their constituents. Sa inyong lahat, mga local government officials, maraming salamat. Higit sa lahat, salamat sa sambayanang Pilipino para sa inyong mga sakripisyo, sa inyong tiyaga, for believing in the face of the greatest hardships in our ability to surmount the obstacles to the future you deserve. You who have resisted persistent if not pathetic calls for despair instead of faith, for anarchy instead of harmony, salamat, salamat, taos-pusong pasasalamat. So I stand before you today to deliver a state of the nation that is focused on what the people want. The people want to know the plan to put us on the path to prosperity. I'm not here to talk about politics. I'm here to talk about what the people want, details on the state of the nation, and what their government is doing to make progress every single day. sama-sama nating isusulong ang bansa patungo sa kinabukasang nagniningning. Gaya na nakikita sa graph na ito, dahil sa ating reforma sa ekonomiya, we now have the funds to address social inequity and economic disparity. Too many, masyadong marami ang mamamayang nagugutom. Hindi ako hihinto hanggang magtagumpay ang ating laban sa kahirapan. We now have the funds to stamp out terrorism and lawless violence. May pondo na tayo para labanan ang katiwalian. Our reforms have earned us 1 billion pesos from the U.S. Millennium Challenge account for more investigators, prosecutors, and new technology to fight corruption. We are matching this with another billion from our fiscal savings. We now have the funds for constitutional and electoral changes. Sa kasulukuyang sistema, napakabagal ang proseso. At bukas sa labis na pagtutunggali at sikil ang lalawigan at mamamayan sa paghahari ng Imperial Manila. Panahon ng ibalik ang kapangyarihan sa taong bayan at lalawigan. For surely, there must be a better way to do politics so that those who lose elections do not make the country pay for their frustrated ambitions. There must be a better way so that those who win the nation's mandate to govern can work without delay and whimsical obstruction. There must be a better way. Meanwhile, now we can fund the medium-term public investment program. Sumusulong ang ating plano na may tatlong yugto. Una, ang makaahon sa mga dekada ng utang at kapos ng pondo. Nagawa na natin ito, sama-sama tayo. Ikalawang yugto, ang pagbalik sa taong bayan ng mas malaking kita ng pamalaan upang makapagpundar ng kalinga sa kalusugan, edukasyon at trabaho na kailangan ng mamamayan. Ginagawa na rin natin ito. And finally, phase 3. To invest in the natural advantages and natural resources of each section of our nation, so that when harnessed together, the major economic regions of the nation are larger than the sum of its parts. We will enhance the competitive advantage of the natural super regions of the Philippines. The North Luzon Agribusiness Quadrangle. The Metro Luzon Urban Beltway. Central Philippines. Mindanao. And the Cyber Corridor. In North Luzon, we will prioritize agribusiness investments. The agricultural and fisheries potential of the Cordilleras, Ilocandia, and Cagayan Valley can feed Luzon affordably. And nearness to North Asia holds the rich promise of agricultural exports and tourism. My father built the Halsema Highway from Baguio to Bontoc and the Bagaba Airport in Nueva Vizcaya to access the Ifugao rice terraces, which, by the way, the UNESCO has recently praised for the way we have carried out our heritage preservation policy. We have rehabilitated the Baguio to Mount Data leg of the highway, and the rest of Halsema will now follow. We will upgrade the Bagabag Airport and build a new one in Lalo, Cagayan. Which will connect to Cordillera by upgrading the Tabuk to Gegarao Road. Sa Tabuk, Kalinga, noong Abril, tumanggap ng titulo sa lupa ang ilang matatanda pagkatapos nilang naghintay ng 20 taon mula nung napirmahan ang Mount Data Accord ng gobyerno at ng Cordillera People's Army. May isang matanda, suot ang lumang uniforme ng CPLA, pumila, hila-hilang isang binatilyo. Sabi niya, "This is not for me, but for him." Agad inabot ang titulo sa apo. Narito ba ngayon si Ginong Ama Balongay at ang kanyang anak, apo na si Jacob? And our post-harvest support shall continue, like the cold chain that we set up in 2004 for La Trinidad Benguet under Mayor Nestor Pongwan. It consisted of a refrigerated facility, storage facility, and refrigerated trucks to deliver vegetables to Metro Manila. Nais kong tumaas ang kita ng mga magsasaka at ang ina ng bawat tahanan ay makabili ng mura at sariwang gulay para sa kanyang mga anak. So that the people will know how well their money is spent, Benguet and its towns of Bacon, Bocod, and Itogon have rolled out the new electronic government accounting system in their jurisdictions. If Ifugao was able to cut its poverty in half in the first 3 years of our administration, from 56 to 28%, congratulations. We hope that through these programs, the other provinces can replicate the success of Ifugao. Hangad nating dumami ang mga taga-Cordillera sa mga propesyon na tinitingalaan ng bayan, gaya ng mga abogado, gaya ni Maurice Domogan at Romeo Bronner. Ibig din nating makapaghanda ang Cordillera sa autonomiya pagdating ng federalismo ayon nawa sa pagbabago ng saligang batas. Sa Dagupan, inilunsad na ng mga kolehiyo gaya ng Northwestern Lyceum University, ang ladderized system of education. Sa ganitong sistema, magagamit sa universidad ang mga kursong kinuha sa vocational school at ang karanasan sa trabaho. We will expand President Ramos's flagship San Roque Multipurpose Dam. With the massive Agno River project. Another major project is the Banawang irrigation. We will allocate 200 million pesos a month for small irrigation projects like those in the flood control plan of the Region 2 Development Council headed by Bishop Ramon Villena. Plus, another 200 million a month for farm-to-market roads. Also in the works is an international airport in Poro, La Union. And the improvement of the 2 airports in Batanes as recommended by Governor Vic Gatto. Ilocos Sur will have a seaport in Salomage. While the Cagayan Zone Authority will better the one in Port Irene. To save dollars, windmills in Batanes and Ilocos Norte turn mega winds into megawatts. And when Army Commander Romy Tolentino was North Luzon Commander, he became a soldier farmer. A soldier farmer planting Jethropa as yet another alternative fuel. The Metro Manila or the Metro Luzon Urban Beltway spans most of Central Luzon, Metro Manila, Calabarzon, Mindoro, and Marinduque. It must be a globally competitive, urban, industrial, and services center because it produces more than half of the country's GDP. To be world-class, we will invest in 5 comprehensive strategies for global competitiveness. 1, make food plentiful and affordable to keep our labor costs globally competitive. 2, reduce the cost of electricity to make our factories regionally competitive. Three, modernize infrastructure at least cost to efficiently transport goods and people. Fourth, mobilize, upgrade, and disseminate knowledge and technologies for productivity. Fifth, reduce red tape in all agencies to cut business costs. The most prohibitive red tape is in our outmoded Constitution. We need constitutional change to bring our rules of investment into the new millennium. The new public bidding process has been shortened to 45 days for infrastructure and 26 days for supplies as of today. Even before this, Metro Manila firms paying bribes for public contracts declined from 57% in 2003 to 46% today. Congratulations, Metro Manila. Machine-readable electronic passports will enhance the credibility of Philippine travel documents, improve the mobility, and increase the prospects of Philippine business and labor. Legitimate mobility is hampered by human trafficking. Through the support of the USAID, we have convicted traffickers like the Tongko spouses who were sentenced in a Quezon City court last December. These accomplishments removed us from the priority anti-trafficking watch list. To lower power costs, we introduced the wholesale electricity spot market last month. Let's give it a chance to work. And we would like big power consumers like electronics, our #1 exports, to avail of lower power rates from the National Power Corporation. On cocoa biodiesel, we now have enough capacity for the proposed 1% blend, just waiting to be passed into law. The Subic-Clark Corridor is on its way to a competitive international logistics center. This will be my legacy to my Cabalens. Jointly with Lito and Mark Lapid, Ray Aquino, Ana Bondok, Blue Boy Nepomuceno, Maisan Mikey, and Tarzan Lasatin. We jump-started it with giant investments in the Subic Seaport, the Clark Airport, and the Subic-Clark-Tarlac Expressway. And to bring the Beltway to the west, we will connect the Subic-Clark-Tarlac Road to Dingalan Port through Nueva Ecija. And the Marikina Infanta Road to the Port of Real. Upang ibsan ang pagod ng mga empleyadong namamasahe sa trapiko sa Kalakhang, Maynila, mangangapital tayo sa mga expressway at tren. We will have a continuous highway from Clark to Metro Manila to Batangas Port. Tapos na yung expressway mula Clark hanggang Maynila. Sa ngayon, wala nang 1 oras ang biyahe mula Clark hanggang Monumento. Ngayon, iiwasan natin ang trapiko mula Monumento dahil idudugtong natin ang North Expressway sa C5. Tutulong si Sunny Belmonte sa right of way. Ang C5 naman ay konektado na sa South Luzon Expressway. Ang South Luzon Expressway ay pinapalapad naman hanggang Calamba. Sa Agosto, papahabain ito hanggang Batangas. We will also build the coastal road to Bacoor, which has become urban under Jesse Castillo. Pagdurugtingin natin ang MRT at LRT mula Monumento hanggang North EDSA. Upang maibsan or upang mabuo ang biyaheng paikot sa Kamaynilaan at maibsan ang traffic. We will construct the North Rail to Clark and the South Rail to Lucena and on to Bicol. And upgrade the link between them. We will also extend the LRT to Bacoor. Sa pagbilis ng biyahe patungo at palabas ng Metro Manila, makakatira ang manggagawa sa mas mura at maliwalas na lalawigan. Maayos na ang kapaligiran sa riles ng tren sa South Superhighway. Masaya ang mga pamilyang hinatid namin ni Vice President Noli de Castro sa kanilang bago at permanenteng relokasyon. Teddy Boy Locsin said, "It hadn't been done before and couldn't be done at all." Well, Teddy, ngayon, gagawin ito sa Maynila. Si Lito Atienza ang bahala. We thank China for agreeing to fund these housing needs. Huwara ng ating programang pabahay para sa mahihirap ang mga proyekto ng Iglesia ni Cristo at Gawad Kalinga. Ngunit kapos sa tubig ang taga-West Zone ng Kamaynilaan. Kaya bibigyan natin ng prioridad hindi lamang ang edukasyon, kuryente, enerhiya at kalusugan, kundi tubig rin. we are setting up a 300 million liters per day pumping station for Muntinlupa, Las Piñas, and Parañaque. We will build a roll-on, roll-off port system to link Lucena, Quezon to Boac, Marinduque, like the Batangas, Mindoro port. Sa ganitong mga proyekto, palalakasin natin ang ekonomiya ng mga barangay at lalawigan, and we will end the long oppression of barangays by rebel terrorists who kill without qualms even their own. Sa mga lalawigang sakop ng 7th Division, nakikibaka sa kalaban si Jovito Palparan. Hindi siya aatras. Hindi siya aatras hanggang makawala sa gabi ng kilabot ang mga pamayanan at makaahon sa bukang liwayway ng hustisya at kalayaan. In the harshest possible terms, I condemn political killings. We together stop judicial executions with the abolition of the death penalty. We urge witnesses to come forward. Together we will stop extrajudicial executions. Central Philippines has the competitive edge in tourism and its natural wonders and the extraordinary hospitality of its people. The area sweeps across Palawan and Romblon, the Visayas and Bicol, plus the northern Mindanao islands of Camiguin, Siargao, and Dapitan. Top billed by Boracay, Cebu, Bohol, and Palawan, it attracts more than half of the foreign tourists to the Philippines. It is also the center of geothermal power in the country, which we continue to develop. The priority here is tourism investments. Coming soon for Superstar Boracay are an instrument landing system for the Calibo Airport and a 3 billion peso private investment in a San Jose Romblon Airport. Plus good roads to spillover destinations all over Panay. In Cebu, Gwen Garcia is constructing a world-class convention center. For the ASEAN and East Asian summits in December. Helping our infrastructure upgrading is the fall in bribery for public sector contracts in Metro Cebu, from 62% of companies in 2004 to 47% today. Congratulations to Cardinal Vidal for shepherding his flock, and to Metro Cebu Mayors Osmeña, Guano, and Fernandez, and Metro Cebu Representatives Del Mar, Cuenco, Gullas, and Suon Ruiz. Bohol became a destination distinct from Cebu since it defeated the terrorist insurgency with community initiatives led by the power tandem of Rico Aumentado and General Johnny Gomez, now the NCR commander. It now merits its own international airport. Just as our country deserves a world-class constitution, strongly supported by Governor Aumentado and the League of Local Authorities. Tourism in Palawan requires the upgrading of the airports of Puerto Princesa, Busuanga, San Vicente, hometown of Congressman Alvarez. That's why he's clapping. And the building of a new one in Balabac, as well as a continuous road backbone from El Nido to Batarasa. We will lengthen the Dumaguete runway for tourism as well as electronics. Valencia Oriental Negros could attract semiconductor firms with power rates subsidized by the geothermal field of Palimpinon. Negros will also advance energy independence with ethanol projects in San Carlos City and Tamlang Valley once the biofuel law is passed. You have done your part, Migs. We will serve Guimaras by the airport being built in Santa Barbara, Iloilo, and by a new Roro port in Sibunag. We will link Sipalay via Silay Airport, funded by the national government, and Kabangkalan Airport being built by its local government. Thank you. For Bicol's whale sharks, beaches, and of course Mount Mayon, we have started acquiring the right-of-way for an international airport in Daraga, Albay. We will provide the means to the perfect serves of the Pacific by upgrading the airports of Siargao, Giwan, and Tacloban. We will widen the road in Dakak to Dakak in Dapitan, and Roro will connect Siquijor to Santander, Cebu, Camiguin to Hagna, Bohol, Ubay, Bohol to Maasin, Southern Leyte for diving in Limasawa. We will bring Masbate and Biliran into the Roro Eastern Nautical Highway from Surigao through Leyte, through Naval and Maripipi in Biliran, through Esperanza, Aroroy, and Burias Island in Masbate, and on to Bicol. The much-awaited 10-megawatt generator set arrived in Masbate last Saturday. It is ready to power up the province before the end of the month. Camiguin, Romblon, and Camarines Norte got out of the list of poorest provinces in 2003. With tourism, these provinces can become rich. Also winning the war against poverty and calamity, undaunted by unimaginable catastrophe, the valiant people of Southern Leyte, under the leadership of Rosette Lerias and Oging Mercado, our Rudy Giuliani, the valiant people of Southern Leyte are rebuilding the lives of St. Bernard and San Francisco from their tragic mudslides. Yesterday, I asked the Japanese government to help Southern Leyte implement an integrated management approach to deal with the critical ecosystem, like the one that the World Bank has approved for the Bicol River Basin Project. Mindanao is our priority for agribusiness investments in the South. Mindanao is mostly fertile and largely typhoon-free, exporting coconut products and high-value crops. And from its waters come 40% of the country's fish catch. Our investment priorities mirror those for North Luzon and more because Mindanao has the poorest regions and poorest provinces, and because we have to spend on a logistics system linking it to the north. In 2003, we introduced the RORO from Zamboanga del Norte through Negros, Panay, and Mindoro to Batangas. This system has slashed travel time from Mindanao to Luzon from 36 hours to 24 hours, and freight cost by 30%, so crucial to food shipments. Now we will develop more routes, like the one from Cagayan de Oro through Camiguin, Bohol, Cebu, and Masbate to Bicol, the Central Nautical Highway. Also in 2003, Sulu, Lanao del Sur, and Tawi-Tawi registered double-digit declines in poverty incidence from the year 2000. Congratulations. Kitang-kita ang pagbabago ng mga island provinces ng Sulu, Basilan at Tawi-Tawi. Nagbukas ang Jollibee sa Basilan. The Balikatan exercises with the United States, combined with the U.S. GEM program and other donor-assisted projects, have no doubt contributed to this. Sa Sulu, isang araw ng Mayo, umuulan. Nagwakas ang isang mahabang pagtutunggali nang pumasok ang mga kawal at sibilyan sa kampong Bitanag sa Panamaw na hawak ng mga rebelde. Nagyakapan at nagkamayan ang dalawang panig. Dahil sa matinding pagnanais para sa kapayapaan ni Marine General Ben Dolorfino, naganap ang pagkakasundo. Gayon natapos ang isang madugong kabanata. Congratulations, General Dolorfino. Susi sa anumang pag-ibayo ang malakas na suporta at maabilidad na liderato ng pamalang lokal. Halimbawa, yung from arms to farms ni Governor Ben Long ng Sulu. With his caravans of tractors literally invading former rebel camps in his province. Congratulations. Mahigit isang linggong nakaraan naman, dumating sa 11 islands ang daan-daang rebelde at kanilang pamilya sa pamumuno ng dating MNLF commander na si Aribari Samson. Dito sa mga pulo na kilalang No Man's Island, dati nagtatago ang mga rebelde at kriminal. Ngayon, sa tulong ng isang programa ng United Nations, nagtayo tayo ng 200 tahanan at panibagong buhay para sa pangkat ni Samson. Thank you for giving peace a chance, Commander Samson. I take this occasion to express our gratitude to the donor community from the U.S., the Organization of the Islamic Conference, the European Union, Australia, Japan, our ASEAN neighbors, the multilaterals, and the rest of the world. Thank you for helping us in our peace process. If we can harness the forces of good in our nation, the positive force at work here at home, and those from abroad, such as the U.S., Malaysia, the OIC, and others, we shall prevail in Mindanao with a peace agreement that brings freedom and hope to all Filipinos. With this peace, we would reap dividends in resources invested in agribusiness, not aggression, to build up, not tear down, the Philippine South. Among the possible peace dividends would be pro-poor road projects like the Siocon, Sirawai, Sibuco, Baligyan Road in Zamboanga del Norte. The Lebac to Maguindanao Road, which Sinda Tumanong started when he was Secretary of Public Works. The Dinagat Island Road Network in Surigao del Norte. The Hawilian Salog Sinakungan Barangay Road in Agusan del Sur. The Pangil Bay Bridge connecting Lanao del Norte to Misamis Occidental. Panaginip ni Abdullah at saka ni Leo Campos. And the Surigao-Davao Road, which we want to be as beautiful as the Bukidnon Highway completed during the administration of Joe Subiri and the term of Mig Subiri. Mindanao's #1 export, coconuts, has been growing continuously for the last 3 years at the rate of 10% a year. The coconut farmers deserve a portion of the peace dividend. I invite Congress and the bishops, ulama, priests, pastors, farmer, Lumad Conference, led by Archbishop Fernando Capalla, to help me ensure their rightful share. On top of peace and investment, progress also demands good governance. I congratulate Dongko Emano for the drop in reports of corruption in public contracts in Cagayan de Oro from 65% of firms last year to 38% this year. He's not here. He sent me a text wishing me good luck on my SONA. Also, Rudy Duterte and the other leaders of Metro Davao, led by Majority Leader Boy Nograles, for a similar drop 57% last year to 49% now. Things are coming together for Mindanao, a prelude to the readiness for eventual federalism. The Cyber Corridor will boost telecommunications, technology, and education. The corridor runs the length of all the super regions, from Baguio to Cebu to Davao. The cities of Davao, Tagum, and Samal Island Garden all operate electronic government accounting systems. There are many wings now to this corridor because enterprising local executives like El Rey Villafuerte and Jerry Treñas have aggressively attracted call centers to their jurisdictions. Congrats, Jerry. In this corridor, the English and information and communication technology skills of the youth give them a competitive edge in call centers and other business process outsourcing. In 2001, in this hall, we hailed ICT as a key growth sectors. So we built up telecommunications infrastructure and opened the market for internet phone calls. Today, international calls cost 6 cents a minute, down from 40 cents. From 2,000 BPO workers in 2001, we now have 200,000. I had coffee with some call center agents last Labor Day. Lynn, a new college graduate, told me, "Hi, Lynn. Lynn told me, now I don't have to leave the country in order for me to help my family. Salamat po." I was so touched, Lynn, by your comments. With these structural reforms, we not only found jobs, but kept families intact. Thank God, I thought. Or someone might also try to impeach me for violating Article 15 of the Constitution on the solidarity of the family as the foundation of the nation. As Louis Villafuerte argues, to step into the future, a country that wants to be a player in the global economy needs bold and well-funded research and development initiatives of its own. To this end, we will continuously increase the budget for science and technology and education. Input ni Louie yan sa diskursong ito. For in today's global economy, knowledge is the greatest creator of wealth. In summary, I named only a few priorities to illustrate that on many fronts, your government is working and working well. Our economy is now growing over the longest period in the last quarter century. 22 consecutive quarters of growth. Umaakyat ng mahigit 30% ang kita ng mahihirap, pinakamahihirap na pamilya sa unang 3 taon ng ating panunungkulan. At bumaba ang dami ng maralita sa 25% ng mga pamilya mula 28%, katumbas ng 2 milyong katao na lumaya sa kahirapan. According to Thornton and Punang Bayan, 70% of medium-sized business owners are optimistic, the fifth most optimistic among 30 countries, just behind India, Ireland, South Africa, and China. Bickering in politics may delay, but not derail the initiatives that need to be taken on our pro-poor, pro-growth, and pro-peace agenda. Regardless of the fate of the national budget, we must automate our election process. Local governments must get their rightful share of revenues. I ask Congress to pass a supplemental budget to effect this. We are a great people. We have honest students and honest cops. We have scaled the heights of Mount Everest. We have dominated the Southeast Asian Games. We have won international beauty titles. And of course, punch our way to triumph in the boxing world. Mabuhay, Manny. Our people compete and win every day in every imaginable job throughout the world. Individually, we have taken the world on and won. Together, we must take on the challenge of creating a new, peaceful, humane, and competitive nation and prevail. For those who want to pick up old fights, we're game. But what a waste of time. Why not join hands instead? Join hands in the biggest challenge of all, where we all win or we all lose. The battle for the survival and progress of our one and only country. After 3 years, 11 months, and 6 days, I shall relinquish the presidency with much, if not all, that I have outlined completed. I do not want it said then that in the end I defeated my enemies. I would rather have it said that all of us, you and I, friends and foes today, achieved together a country progressive, prosperous, and united. Thank you. Mabuhay.
On the part of the Senate, the joint session is adjourned.
On the part of the House of Representatives, we congratulate the new President of the Senate. On the part of the House of Representatives, the joint session has come to an end. It is adjourned.